Hello again, folks. Well, unfortunately, the internet went out where I am, and it caused me to have to start this whole thing all over again. So, the Facebook Live video thing did not work. However, I have done a time lapse of the sculpture, so hopefully that'll be just as good. I think actually more people had asked to see a time lapse of it rather than a Facebook Live. So clearly, because I went against everyone's will, the universe decided to fuck me. Pardon my Grinch. Anyway, so the time lapse video is about 7 minutes or so. As I was mentioning in the Facebook Live video, the whole reason for doing this is this is a miniature of my face, or at least that's how it started. And I don't have a head cast as of yet, but I will within a week or so. Once I have the head cast, I will do a traditional sculpt on my face cast to make a prosthetic for what you're going to see here. Previously, my Grinch prosthetic that I use is very similar to the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch, which is not my favorite, neither the prosthetic nor the movie. And when I perform, I don't perform as Jim Carrey's Grinch. I perform as the spirit animal that is the Grinch that I grew up with, the animated version and the Chuck Jones version. So, that being said, as I said earlier, this prosthetic is going to be a little bit easier for me to put on and wear. The prosthetic that I've been wearing the past few years is an entire face application, all the way down except for the chin. And that prosthetic is very warm. It does not allow for my face to move very much. So it's just kind of stuck in that typical Grinch face. Whereas when I perform, I would rather use my face to be more animated. And let's face it, I look more like the Grinch than the prosthetic of the Grinch. So the additions that I'm going to make are the top lip, which you've already seen, which I started in the Facebook Live video, which is a little more pronounced here. There will then be two eyebrow pieces that are separate that will go over my eyebrows and up into my forehead area, allowing the fur eyebrows to be applied and arched in a bit more menacing way. That will come straight down to the bridge of the nose, and then the tiny little nose that is there, they will meet right behind it. So that's actually very similar to the Chuck Jones version of the Grinch and the book. Now I have made an entire fur suit for this application as well. I did start wearing that last year. So it's actually a pretty easy to wear hood that I just pull over my face and it buttons right below the chin. The top of that hood, as you can see in what I'm adding on here, there's kind of a bulb of foam at the top of the fur hood that allows my face to be elongated up, giving it that kind of classic Chuck Jones pear shape to the face. Now, the thing that I added to it that is not in the Chuck Jones version is these kind of wild tendrils that are coming out of his head. When I built this for the fursuit, they actually have wire inside of them, and that wire allows me to pose them. And there's also a bit of weight at the end of the wire. So when I walk and when I move, they bounce slightly, which gives it a nice follow-through effect. I really, like I said, I'm trying to do something a little bit different with this. He's a little more haggard looking. He's a bit older looking, which will also come with the makeup that I'm doing this year. You know, he's 53. He's consistently 53. Forever. And so his makeup will make him look a bit older as well. And though most of the makeup will be my own face, except for the eyebrows, the top lip, the bottom lip, which is going to protrude as well and protrude the chin a bit. And that's pretty much it. The rest of it is all my face. So I'll be able to kind of move my top jaw and my bottom jaw separately, make a bit more facial reactions with it. And then I just use my regular teeth, which are kind of brown and disgusting looking. And I do have yellow contacts as well. That'll go with it. That'll really kind of bring out the eyes as well. And the tendrils, like I said, are going to be kind of wild and such. A few other additions to the costume this year is that I am going to be purchasing through Gary Fay Productions or Studios. I'm not sure which. I'm going to be purchasing a pair of his super awesome claw hands, which will extend my fingers and allow for the fingers to actually be able to grasp and be much more spindly and cartoonish looking. And the fursuit, which I used last year, which I'm going to add a few additions as well. He's going to have a long, tattered kind of vest coat with some fur on it, patchwork on it, and there'll be some surprises with that costume as well. And then the last bit of what I have also added to the costume here is the chin. There's going to be a long kind of Van Dyke beard on him that can curl with a wire. And you know, as I sculpted this, you may take a look at it and say, oh, it kind of looks like Planet of the Apes a little. And that's actually on purpose. I really feel that both versions of the Grinch, the original versions, he kind of looks ape-ish in his body type and his face. So that is done on purpose. And this is what